And strength doesn't come from struggling by yourself. Motherhood is not supposed to be done alone.
Welcome to the Hey Mama podcast. We're your hosts, Tessa and Shayna. We are sisters, mothers, and doulas and are passionate about living an intentional life and all things motherhood. This podcast exists to create community as we learn how to delight in motherhood together.
Join us weekly as we chat with women about anything and everything from non-toxic living to women's health to feeding our families and our favorite topic of all, birth. We are so glad you're here.
Well, hello, and thank you so much for joining us today. We are so excited about our guest today that we have on. So just before we jump into that, just wanted to see, Shayna, how was your week?
It was good. We had a good week. River's just exploding in all the ways and talking and being so active and running around and getting her shoes on and looking at the flowers,
of course.
Duh, people.
And how does she say I love you?
And it is. Oh, I just cry every time she does it. I say bye. She says bye, Lalo. When did this happen? But it was good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling close. I think I've been hit with every illness in the past 9 days that you can get hit with. So sinus infections, to migraines, to 24-hour bugs, to throwing up in my mouth and having what's it called? Acid reflux. So I'm here. I am present. I am
all
woman.
The kefir.
Yeah.
And all the papaya enzymes.
Chugging kefir.
Yeah.
Anyways.
If you have acid reflux, drinking a cup of kefir, if you're able to, before eating a meal, very helpful.
Yes. But I did it after I ate the meal. So I did not learn. Also, my new word for Sage this week is that he is telling me, oh, bless you, mama. If I sneeze, if I cough, if I fall. So there's a lot of bless yous happening.
How often are you falling?
Trip, hit a cupboard, anything like that. Yeah. He literally just telling me, bless you, mama. Oh, bless you, Sage.
Oh,
so he doesn't know what he's saying. It's so sweet.
He does. That is amazing.
So sweet.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Bless you. That is so sweet. Okay, you guys, enough about us. We are so excited for today's guest. She is truly amazing. Her name is Kaitlin. We are really happy to have her on. She's an entrepreneur. She's a mama. She's a birth worker. She started her own company called Be Her Village. And we are so excited to hear a little bit more. So Kaitlin, if you wouldn't mind, we would love it if you would introduce yourself.
Thank you guys so much. I am so excited to be here. I love you guys. This is just, I know this is going to be so much fun because we have already had so much fun together. Before I get into who I am, I just have to tell you that the I love you is melting me because my daughter who's about to turn 7, my husband and I still tell each other, I got you, because she would just do all the Y sounds, I got you, all the time. And it's just, I think as moms we can wish away some of these things. We can have our anxiety about will they ever get it right? And if you're listening and you have these little babies saying these cute things, they're gonna figure it out. And then they're gonna ignore you and be teenagers. So just not enjoy every moment because that's obnoxious, but enjoy the sweet little toddlerisms. They're just the greatest.
Yes.
I love
that's
it.
Such a great way to start this.
I was going to say that truly my husband and I find each other talking to each other the way our son talks to us. So always you okay? You okay? And I'm like, all right, Dada, I'm about to leave. And I'm like, we gotta probably, your name is Jake. I'm going to call you that every once in a while, but all right, Dad, I love you.
I still call my husband Papa because that was his name when the kids were babies. Aww. They all call him Dad. So now he calls me Mama, I call him Papa, they call us Mom and Dad. And now it's the weirdest. If you told me 10 years ago that I was going to call my boyfriend / fiance / husband Papa, I would have told you you're crazy. But this is the sort of the evolution of parenthood and family language and love language. And
I love it.
Good. Yeah. I love it.
Just being a proud mama.
And yes, mama, forever mama. So thank you guys for having me. I just love this. I'm so excited to talk about it. My name is Kaitlin McGreyes. I am a mother of 3 amazing kids. I am a doula in New York. I've been a doula since 2014, since right after my VBAC. And I'm the founder of Be Her Village. And essentially, I have made it my mission to make shopping for birth and postpartum support as easy as shopping for car seats and strollers. And so we developed a gift registry platform for parents to be able to shop for that support in their local area, add it to their gift registry, and get the funds to pay for all of the support and all of the people in our villages that can uplift us and empower us and make us feel really, really good during our pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. That's my story. There's like so much more to it, but that's the gist of who I am and what I'm doing. And I'm really grateful for you guys to have me on here to talk about it.
Well,
oh my gosh, we're excited.
We're so excited. And it's truly a conversation we have so often with so many of our just clients and friends, and just kind of really encouraging them in that direction, right? Of just, actually register for what you need.
Yeah.
So we would love just to hear a little bit more about, okay, tell us the why. Like, how did you get to the founder of Be Her Village, and what is the why behind it for you?
Oh, that's such a good question. So I was not planning on going this way in my life. Motherhood sort of had this total like left turn for me. I was a special ed teacher in New York City. I was like really happy to do that. And that's where I met my husband. He still teaches in the same school where we met when we were 22. Like, that was the path I was on. And then I became a mother, and I went through my first birth experience, and I wish I could be like, and it was amazing, and I was called into this work, but like, it was not amazing. It was standard American maternal health care, which was traumatizing for me. And I thought I did all the right things. I had a baby shower. I was a blubbering mess at my baby shower because I was feeling the village and community support. I was feeling the love. I was looking around, like the tables were set up in this sort of circular way at the restaurant. And I was feeling like, oh, this is my circle of women from my friendships and my college and my work and my family. Like, this is it. This is my community. I was feeling so much of that love at my baby shower. And I did what I thought I was supposed to do. And then my birth sort of went sideways right from the get-go. I didn't have a doula. I didn't have the support I needed to know how to navigate the hospital system. I was systematically stripped of my voice and my power and my personness and my freaking humanity. Like, not to be dramatic about it, but like, it was unbelievable. I was, and remain, a very outspoken, strong-minded, strong personality. Like, I'm not someone who's meek. And I was stripped of my power in 20 seconds. I'm going to make that time shorter because it was so immediate, stepping into the hospital without the advocacy piece, without the preparation that I needed. And it really altered my entire transition into motherhood. I ended up feeling totally voiceless, out of control, ended up with a C-section that I maybe needed, maybe didn't, questionable. I've questioned it a million times since then. And then I found myself 3 days postpartum in my nursery, filled with all of those wonderful, generous, amazing gifts I'm still so grateful for those gifts. And I always try to point that out. Like, I'm not mad at my community for gifting me those things. I'm not ungrateful for everything I received, but I sat in my recliner in the corner of my nursery, surrounded by those gifts, and I was completely alone. I was trying to figure out how to breastfeed. I was 3 days post C-section. My husband went back to work while I was still in the hospital, which is a horrendous, like, entire other episode that we should talk about. Like, paid parental leave is non-existent in this country. And I was just alone, and I was trying to figure out which way was up. And that sort of intersection that occurred in that moment was of me being surrounded by all the things that people had given me at my baby shower, which was the community event, right, to try to support me. And then in my actual moment of need, not having anything. I didn't have the lactation consultant. I didn't have a postpartum doula. I didn't have the doula at the birth that 1,000% would have, at the very least, changed how I felt about it, even if it didn't change the medical needs during that birth. And I just sort of, I entered this motherhood realm, like this whole incredibly transformative moment alone. And it's something that happens to a lot of us. And it was something I didn't realize for myself until I became a doula after my second birth, after my VBAC, after my transformation into like my powerful self again. I thought, and a lot of us do this, I thought it was my fault. You know, I thought that I didn't do enough. I thought that I hadn't prepared myself enough. I thought that the reason why I was struggling was because I did something wrong. And so many of us think that, and we're all sort of like sitting in our houses and apartments and homes, struggling and alone and blaming ourselves. While there's this entire $12 billion spent on baby shower gifts and this amazing community support event that has been co-opted by baby product companies and retailers that are convincing parents that they need all this stuff and convincing communities that we need to just load them up with all this stuff in order to be good parents, in order to have a good experience. And like, I just have this lived experience of being prepared in the wrong way, blaming myself, and then realizing, nope, we're all going through this. We're all going through this. And I've made it my mission to change that. I just haven't. Like, there's so many people doing this incredible work. There's so many doula groups and people out there doing the work day in and day out and doing such interesting and wonderful things to try to increase access to maternal care. There are very few, if not none, people trying to break into the retail industry and trying to change the way we shop and change the way we prepare our gifts for the mothers in our communities, so that they can actually have what they need. And so that's what we're doing with Be Her Village, and that's why we're doing it. And it's like, it's a really interesting thing being an entrepreneur. And I think there's birth workers listening. I mean, you guys are birth workers, you get it. Like, it's an interesting and not always perfect journey to approach business and approach entrepreneurship, heart-led, like mission-based, trying to change the world first, and also trying to figure out how to make money doing that. But like, it's a really interesting balance to strike. And that's the walk I'm walking. It's like, I don't know that I'm doing business the right way. I just know the vision I have for this world. I know I look at my daughter, who's going to be 7 Sunday, actually. And I look at her and I'm like, I want it to be that when you go register and when we throw your baby shower, you're getting a stroller and a doula and a breast pump and a lactation consultant, right? And a postpartum care provider and cute onesies. Like, I want it to be a yes and I'm working really hard to make that happen. And so the why behind Be Her Village is both my lived experience and my like deep feeling of needing to change the world to be a better place for my daughter.
Amazing. Yeah. You are so inspiring, and just to us and just to the community, I think, just as a whole, of like, yeah, you're actually doing something about it, and something that we're all frustrated about. You're actually doing something about it, and you put, your hand to the plow and you're working at it and you're giving tirelessly. And so cool that you're coming from a birth worker's and a mom's perspective within this, and kind of bringing all that together. Like, here's actually how this could work, and here's how it works. And I know we talked a little bit prior, just kind of how you are meeting the needs of when families are coming to your, website and everything, and they're trying to register. You're meeting those needs with grandparents and parents, and, the silly aunt who wants to buy this, and the cousin and the brother and the sister and the parent. And you're explaining to them the need and the benefit and the value and all those different things within of what they're actually giving towards. So I love that. And so if somebody wanted to today, you're a pregnant mom, if they wanted to register for Be Her Village, how would they do that? What would that even look like for them?
That's such a good question. So it's really easy, and part of the fun of Be Her Village, and it's something that, like, honestly, between today and whenever this is published, this episode airs, it will probably be different, because we're constantly working to tweak it and make it better and better and better, so that we're able to explain more to the gift buyers and to the families that want to support. But how it looks is really easy. You don't need to know anything to come to us, which is kind of the best part. It was so important to me to sort of take that burden off of the parents right now. Like, before Be Her Village existed, if you want to line up your support team, it is hours and hours and hours of work. You have to, like, know somebody that used a doula, right? You have to, like, figure out where the doulas are. You have to go to their websites. You have to figure out what their pricing is, what their availability is. You have to figure out how to message them or contact them or email them. It's hours of work. And I wanted to make it really easy to both do that actual shopping, but also to know what to shop for. Because I think that there's this understanding of like, well, we know we need a car seat. We know we need a bouncer or a swing, maybe both. We know we need diapers. We know we need a monitor. You know, like there's some basic stuff that we know we're going to need. And we don't really know what support we're going to need. We know we need support, but that's about it. So when you go to Be Her Village, you have a few options. You can just dive right in, and highly suggest doing that. Just start your registry. Just go in, start your registry and poke around. Because if you start your registry, what we do is we collect a little bit of information about you to understand where you are in your journey, where you are in the country, because what we do is we match you with local practitioners in your area. So you can go create your registry, answer a few questions, and then literally right there on your registry page, we have a few examples of support and services that you might already want, just to like let you understand like how the registry works, how to see what it would look like to add something. And also right on that page, you can start using our shopping guide. And this shopping guide is so cool. And this is the thing we're pouring our energy into right now. The shopping guide is where the magic happens, because that's where you put in your location. Although actually, if you're logged in, you've already put your location in, and you are matched to doulas in your area. You're matched to childbirth educators. You're matched to postpartum doulas, mental health support, lactation care, pelvic floor care, birth photographers, midwives, like pretty much anything you can think of. And there's this huge guide that walks you through all of those types of services and types of support that are available to you and connects you with practitioners in your area. You can see what their pricing is. We require every single practitioner to add their pricing, so you have an idea of what they cost, of what their services and support look like, and you can message them right through our site, and you can add them directly to your gift registry. And the beauty of Be Her Village. Oh, thank you. It's a really long, process. It sounds so cool. I'm listening to myself going, wow, that's pretty cool. So I'm glad. So true. Wow, we actually built a cool thing.
That is amazing, Kaitlin.
And the fact that you do the pre-done prices
so nice.
Is so helpful for parents and for mamas too, who especially are trying to maybe convince their husband in a moment, like, hey, we need this. Well, how much does it cost? I don't know. I'm still waiting for her to get back to me, but I think it's around this, right? And so you already have it. And so it's so organized and laid out. And
you take out that guesswork. That is amazing. Okay, keep going. We're sorry. We didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, it's great. Please tell me how great I am. No. I have time for it. So what you do, and what's really fun about the Be Her Village registry, is that it's completely flexible. So you can use that shopping guide and select the practitioners and birth workers and all that awesome support in your area. Or, as many people that come to our site do, you can just add who you're already working with. So it's like you don't even have to. If you know who you're working with, everything is fully customizable. And actually, one of the emails that we just sent out is registry inspo, because we want you to see what other people are doing. And you can set up your registries in so many different creative ways, and we offer ways to think about it. Somebody just registered for maternity leave, and she's sort of breaking down hey, for $50, give me a nap with my baby. And that looks like the postpartum doula, making me lunch and holding my baby while I sleep. And it's we're really making the support very tangible and very customizable. And the best part is that the way that the gifting works is it's essentially a cash gift registry. So you connect your bank account through Stripe on Be Her Village. You just do it one time. And then when the gifts come in, they get sent to your bank account. So it works a little bit like Honey Fund, the honeymoon fund, where you can register for candlelit dinners and couples massages on your honeymoon. Your family and friends think they're giving you a candlelit dinner, which they are, but you're getting that $100 in your bank account to pay for it. And what's beautiful about that, and what was so important for me as someone who has had lived experience as a mother, is you don't really know what you're going to need until you're in that moment. And I wanted to make sure that there was complete flexibility for the mothers to be able to spend money on the things or on the support that they needed in any given moment.
Kaitlin, that is so amazing. This registry just sounds like such a gift and exactly what mamas are looking for. And I know a lot of our clients looking for it and friends. So what is something that you want our listeners to take away from this episode and just really to get that heart and your why behind everything you've shared today?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, the thing I want people to know is that they deserve support, that we're not supposed to do this alone. I think it can be really confusing. I think that there's like this strange, like American, like America, we're going to do this alone, you know, like I'm independent and I'm strong. And strength doesn't come from struggling by yourself. Motherhood is not supposed to be done alone. It's a community event. It's really important to be connected with somebody who can validate what you're going through, who can give you tips. There's generational knowledge and wisdom that's passed down from grandmother to mother to daughter and so on. There's something truly magical about that community. And that community doesn't look the way it looked 100 years ago. It doesn't necessarily look like, you know, I have this like vision of women like around a fire, like husking corn. I don't know. That's the imagery that comes to my head.
When you say it takes a village, yeah.
Yes, like it's very like, let's put our aprons on and make a community stew. That's not happening. Maybe we should bring that back. We can discuss, you know. But it looks different now, but it also like the function of being connected to other women that are going through this incredibly trying and wonderful thing. And that's like the thing I can say about motherhood. It is the hardest and best thing that any of us can go through. There's so much growth and so much transformation and so much challenge and so much love. When I became a mother, it was like, I always visualize like the Grinch, you know, when the Grinch like realizes like the spirit of Christmas. I don't know what his realization is, but like basically Christmas is not, hey, it's actually very like a Be Her Village story. It's not about the stuff. It's about the love and the community. And when he realizes that, what happens to his heart? It like click, 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 it breaks open. And that's how I felt about motherhood. I felt like my whole being and spirit and soul like cracked open in good ways and bad. And we need the support of other people to have that happen. So if you walk away from this this podcast episode with one thing, it's not about the technicalities of the website, which by the way are like constantly changing because all we ever do is get feedback and change things. It's that we deserve support as mothers. We're not supposed to do this alone. And use this baby shower. Don't think of it as, how do I get all the stuff for my nursery? Think about it as, how do I set myself up as a human being to step into motherhood? What do I need? And how can I be connected to the resources around me? That's what Be Her Village is about. And whether you use Be Her Village or you use something else, I kind of don't care what you use. I just want moms and people who are becoming parents to know that it's more than just like, you don't just have permission to ask for help. You don't even need to ask for it. That community and motherhood go hand in hand. They're inextricably linked and you cannot separate them. So as you prepare yourself for your birth and for your postpartum, as you think about the stuff you might need, also think about community and the so many ways that can look for you. That's what I hope to take away from this.
Yeah, that's so important. You're right. Motherhood and community, like you can't do one without the other. You can, but it's not going to be something that maybe is as beautiful, as wonderful. That is something that you're doing along with someone else instead of isolated and alone. And I love something you said earlier when you were, talking about Be Her Village and your heart for it. It's you want your daughter to have the postpartum doula and the cute onesie. You want her to have the stroller and something else. No worries.
And I think that's go pick up your kids' alarm.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Don't forget them.
Don't forget the kids.
That's such a beautiful heart. And that just shows exactly what you guys are trying to do with this. And it's wonderful and it's needed and it's important. And we're never saying like you can't have the cute, adorable, Zara kid outfit that also matches you. Like, do it. Put that stuff on your registry.
Go for it.
But then also put the stuff. Me too. With like your names embroidered on it. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Embroider everything. I am not anti-stuff. It's
Yes.
just the pendulum has swung so far in the only stuff. We're not even having the other half of the conversation. And that's what we're trying to do. And I'm so grateful that you guys are having that conversation too. And I have to say, I'm watching the two of you, and like, you guys are in community with each other. You're helping each other through this motherhood journey.
Yeah.
Every single person that's listening to us talk about this is in community with us right now. And I would imagine that somebody started listening to this podcast feeling heavy, feeling like tired, feeling a little scared, feeling burnt out. And hopefully in having community, even in a virtual way, is feeling lighter, because it's really like, it's manifesting as we're doing it. We're talking about the importance while also executing it, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Having that moment of like, oh, wait, yes, she feels that same way too. And just connecting with someone in your car while your kid is maybe screaming at you from the back seat. But you're like, that mom gets it in New York.
Yeah. Yep. She's been there.
Before we have to let you go, we want to see can you let our listeners know how they can find you and the best way to register?
Absolutely.
In 30 seconds.
In 30 seconds or less.
Go.
BeHerVillage.com. 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 Everything's there. You can go into our shopping guide. You can create a registry. You can look at other people's registries. There's also a little question mark on the side, like that follows you around on the site. That goes directly to me. So just feel free to use that to be in touch with me. I'm very available, very accessible. If you want to follow us on Instagram, I'm always in the stories there. Our handle is @BeHerVillage. I answer all of the messages there. This is sometimes people go to our site and like see it's like looks all professional and they're like, oh, it's a big team. It's like literally me and two other moms that are working on this. So we're
even better.
We are you are us. We're building this beautiful community together, and please reach out and be in touch.
Amazing. Thank you so much for giving us your time today.
It was such a joy.
Yeah, you are.
Thank you so much for having me. This is awesome. You guys are my favorite, by the way. I want to fly to LA and hang out with you.
We want
so
you to.
much fun.
Please
Yes,
come.
I
We
love
would
it.
love to
We're
hang
gonna
out.
make
Or
that
we'll go to New York.
Yeah,
We'll fly. We'll
Okay.
go to New York.
we need a New York trip. So
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
Perfect.
It's a good
You
excuse.
can baby moon in New York.
yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you so much, Kaitlin.
Well, that was truly incredible. I loved speaking with Kaitlin today and just kind of hearing her heart, hearing how she has started this beautiful, beautiful company that is just full of community and love and practical resources for moms. So that was so refreshing to hear and kind of just hear her heart on community.
Yeah. And just her mother's heart of she has been there. She has walked that journey. She is walking it currently. And so to put that why behind this company, and even more than, this company, like if you're an expecting mama, we would encourage you, go build a registry on Be Her Village. But even more than that, the heart and the community, the heart for community, which is something Tess and I, that's our goal with this podcast, is for you to feel like you are at the table. We are eating together. We are sharing some coffee. We are watching our babies play, and we're here in this group as one group. So I think that's huge. And Kaitlin just really encouraged that community is so important, whatever stage you're at, whether your kid is 3 weeks or you have a 7-year-old or a 10-year-old, like community doesn't just stop based on, oh, I don't have a baby anymore, so I don't need it. No, it's an ongoing thing. And hopefully you're building a community now that will be foundational for the rest of this motherhood journey, which is a lifetime. It never ends. So that would just be an encouragement of, if you're not in a mama's group, or you're not in a postpartum support group, or you're not in a go walking with moms or a moms whatever, we would really encourage you to join one. If you don't have one around you, then start one. Create it, because other moms need it too. Yep. And as soon as the word gets out, that is going to be so beneficial for your community. So we would really just encourage, start something if it's not already happening. If it's already happening, join something. If there's even more of a need, then start something else. And the more they pop up, the more community is, the more that mothers know that they are not alone, and we're all in this together.
In some places that you can typically find just different support groups or just mom groups in general are going to be local birth centers.
Yes.
Do a lot of that kind of outreach work and host a lot of those sort of events. And then again, just looking at just whether or not you are like kind of plugged in with Facebook groups, within mom groups that
Yeah.
way, looking on Instagram. I know just like we've done that a lot for other moms and clients that
Yeah.
we're trying to help find to connect. And just, cold calling birth centers, cold calling different locations, looking in the neighborhood if they're like a lot of these little boutique shops too, even host
Yeah.
little events. So just
We might be hosting something.
Yeah,
Who knows?
we'll let you guys know. But it is true of just kind of going back to, I think something that really stuck with me was just, I'm 3 days, I've had my C-section. I'm with my baby. I'm naked in the room,
Surrounded by all my stuff.
surrounded by all the stuff, but had nobody there. And that's just such a thing that I think that is so real here in America. And as we live our fast-paced lives alone, it's just a lie. So we just want to bring it back to that is not how we get through life, and that's not how we want to get through life. We don't want to get through life struggling alone, naked, uphill, right? We want to get through life together in community and support, loving each other and holding each other up. So really,
and it doesn't mean that it's any less hard or that you're any less exhausted, but to know that you can call someone and be like, my baby has been up every 30 minutes for the past week. What do I do? What's a remedy? And that person might give you like, try Clo, try this, try this, try this, or I'm going to come over and hold your baby and you're going to take a nap. Like, it's that understanding that you are not alone.
Yep.
You are not alone.
You're not crazy. I feel exactly the same.
Yep. And there's someone else that's going to come, that's going to wear your baby, that's going to take them on a walk with their baby, and you're going to rest, or you guys are going to play together, or she's going to hold your baby while you hold her baby. And it's just going to be that sweet bonding and that remembrance of like, mamas need mamas. They do. And that's it. That's one of our dear friends that she always says that. And it's really true. So mamas need mamas. We love you guys. We're thankful for you. We hope you come back from this episode feeling encouraged and feeling heard, and just knowing that there is a community, if you're not already in one, that's waiting for you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Hey Mama. We're so thankful you decided to join us today, and we hope you go forward in your day feeling encouraged and seen.
Here are a few ways you can connect with our community and support the show. The first way is to share the show with a friend via text or Instagram. You can follow and leave a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And finally, follow us on Instagram at 4Mama Birth.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week for another episode.